All right, what's up? Tim Sykes here. Busy day. Just got done with an all morning interview with Business Insider. That article should be up next week. I'm heading over to Distractify's offices in New York. I'll be live on the Distractify Facebook channel. If you follow them, I think it's just facebook.com/Distractify. So that should be cool. But also, I want to talk about this. So this is Stocks to Trade. Here's the link, stockstotrade.com/lessons. A lot of you guys are asking me how to use stocks to trade. Watch these 8 lessons. You don't even have to be a stocks to trade user, but you can watch them and see how to use this tool because NEON, the news came out at 11:07 a.m. I did not chase it on the initial spike to the 190s. I was dip buying it in here in the 180s. And we had a nice run up to over 2 here, but it just couldn't hold 2. It has solid resistance. In my alert, I specifically said, there's going to be resistance at 210. So the key to my success on this trade, I bought it, I think at like 185 and I sold it near 2. So nothing huge, but it was being prepared, being ready with the breaking news. Stocks to Trade alerted me on the percent gain here because before I even bought it, it had spiked. I don't want to be first. I don't want to predict news. That's a very tough job to try and be first. So it had already spiked from 170 to the 190s. I just dip bought it in here in the 180s, and now it's back down to the 170s. But you had a solid 20-30 minutes to really profit on the breaking news of the Samsung. A better play today was probably, let's see, SYNC, where I had this one. Let me turn off the alerts for a second. That's just to show you where the news was. Here's SYNC. Let me actually go, let me show a 10-day chart. So SYNC is interesting because, let me show you the whole chart. It had that big spike on the AT&T contract the other day, and it went basically from the ones to the threes, but it really topped many times here in the 390s. And so that was my whole goal here today. I was buying it in the 360s pre-market. And some of you asked, like, why in the world are you buying pre-market? Because I know that this stock has a tendency to spike to 390 and then come back down. So if I'm buying it right at the open, at 370, 390, whatever, I'm not sure if it's actually going to, crack the day highs. And as it turned out, it did not. This was the market open. I was buying it, it was already uptrending from the 340s all morning long. And so I bought, in the low 360s with the whole goal of, or actually I think it was even like 356. Let me see. There's so many freaking trades lately. I'm like so out of it. Where did I have it? So here's my trade on Neon. I made a few hundred. SYNC. This was probably better. I got in at 362 was my average. And I got out at 377. So nothing great, but it was the execution and the planning that I'm very proud of with SYNC. So normally I don't buy pre-market, but when a stock like this has a tendency to spike and then come back down and not break out, you have to kind of try and be early. I would not buy this right at the open when it was spiking from 377. I think it hit a high of like 387. So it bounced off multi-day resistance perfectly. The key was getting in pre-market, either in the 340s, 350s, or low 360s, and selling into this spike. I actually didn't sell it initially. I actually, withstood it, and I had a small loss for a little bit, but then it bounced again to the 370s, and I did not take a chance because it just did not do what I wanted. And that's the beauty of not buying at breakout levels. I know in the past I've said, look, you want to buy at breakout levels, but with a stock like SYNC that is range bound and now it's spiking on earnings, you can kind of try and guess that, maybe it's not going to actually succeed. So specifically in my alert, I said, bought this recent contract winner that's now an earnings winner, should retest highs in the 390s. Not sure if it'll break out, hence why I'm buying pre-market, and I'll sell if it fails. So this was exact, and I bought this thing, like 20 minutes, 15 minutes before the market opened with a specific plan. I would love if it would break, 390, but I didn't know. So that's why I would not want to buy this stock at 390 that has had so many failures there. I got out in the high 370s. If I had timed it better, I actually probably could have gotten out in the 380s. But it's not a perfect science. This stock moves fast. So you got to be prepared. So I'm proud of this $600 gain roughly and my profits on NEON. My one loser today, and yes, I do have losers. Some of you guys don't realize it, was Crocs. And this was an earnings winner overnight. And it just, didn't really have much juice. Let me show you a 2-day chart so you can see what it was doing yesterday. Yesterday it was uptrending, uptrending, uptrending. It got all the way up to the 1060 area. So my buying it in the close, at 1025, 1030, I thought that it was going to retest this high. From the get-go, it just couldn't. And I was actually trying to cut losses at like 1020, 1015, and I probably should have just sold it quicker. I was trying to like save pennies, and I ended up getting out at around 10-ish. It's still 985, so I lost like $200-300. Not the end of the world. I still made over 1,000 on this one, but I'm so much prouder of you guys who nailed this play. CCCXI, two C's, and now it just keeps spiking. And also MGT. I'm missing plays left and right. There's too many stocks spiking. These are not exactly ideal catalysts for me. Why is this not loading? I'm on crappy Wi-Fi here in New York. You would think it would be better. But this has been spiking, and I totally missed it because it's merger news, but there is a new successful businessman at the helm. And then HEAR, I really wanted to buy on this spike. It was here. Let me turn on the alerts. You could clearly see they reported first quarter earnings yesterday. I had this on my watch list. So all you had to do was wait for the market open. You saw the massive volume at 105, 110-ish, and you're selling at 130-ish. And, even though I didn't take that, many of you guys did. Here is Miller Trade. I highlighted him on my blog the other day, and he made $668 today. 1,000 is his daily goal, but he's not going to force trades, and he posted a screenshot. So very nice job. And I congratulated him and he said, thanks, man, just following the rules that you have taught me, trying to be like a sniper. Exactly. That's what it takes. Here's APR DV. He actually nailed HEAR at 101, out at 126. So he's making 25% on his money. He can't spell the word prepared, but he is prepared, and that is fantastic. So good job. Here is Michael Arks. I should mention him first. So he's using stocks to trade, and he spotted HEAR at 107. Out at 128, so he's making $400 in a few minutes. And then Romany Knows was in at 103 and out at 129. And some of you guys mistakenly believe, oh, Tim Alert subscribers, all they do is follow your buy alerts. They don't think on their own. Guess what? This is why I have so many millionaire students. This is why I have so many video lessons. It's not just about following alerts. You should never follow an alert from anybody. You should use alerts to help guide you in making your own plans. And I did not even trade HEAR. And I didn't even comment on it because I was busy with the other stocks. But these guys go in with a plan and they're making 20, 30% on their money within a few minutes. Very proud of them. Also, I got to give props to some people in the chat room. Here's Cowles, made $156 in 30 seconds. Johnny DR, awesome gain. He made like 35% on HEAR. Sniper Trades found the earnings winner. Maskin was in on MGT and made, nice 15%. Michael was in at 102, out at 128. Here is Joe Fowl, SYNC, in at 325, out at 362. Nice little shout out from last day's sale. Picked up How to Make Millions DVD. So awesome job. That's fantastic. It doesn't matter if you have 500 shares or 5,000 shares. When you can make 30, 40 cents a share on a $3 stock, that's a good trade. Russian Bear nailed MGT for 20 cents a share. Here is RN Trader. Played it a little too safe, but that's okay. Jason made 100, could have made 200, got greedy. It's okay. Invest 126, made a nice 10% on HEAR. Lamb Trader, first profit on MGT. Strickland is crushing MGT over and over again. Big Mike, nice job on MGT. Here is Cook, in at 106, out at 126, 2,000 shares, so nice $400 on HEAR. Here is APRDV, who I showed you that tweet. This is beautiful. Bull wins it. BL wins it. In or out of SYNC at 350. So he got in early. and he made 730 bucks. Living Parable made 25% on MGT. 927 Expert made like 150. Third Power made 3,200. Wow, big better. We got a player here. And then we got even more, Tyler banked on MGT. Be Her first trade ever on HEAR. Made, 13, 15% with a trailing stop loss. Good job. Brock, good job. Made like 200 bucks on MGT. Big Daddy made money on MGT. Michael actually shorted SYNC. That's actually a really good adaptation to price action. When a morning spike fails, this is a classic Tim Grittani type pattern, and Michael nailed the short on SYNC, shorting at 371, covering at 353. Here's Hudson, CCXI, making 10%, and now, it's up to over 4, so a little too soon, but it's okay. Here's Jose. This is a great trade. Bought CCXI at 314, sold it at 372. And also MGT made another 100 bucks. So making 100 bucks there, 10%, 10%, 20%, it adds up over time, as long as you focus on volatile stocks. Here's Irma in at 122, on here out at 135. And then Wright just made, 200-300 bucks. So I show you these students to show you what's working. I did not trade MGT, CCXI, or HEAR. Really, I kind of only nailed SYNC, and that was weak. I nailed NEON, and that was a little weak. So out of the 5 best plays, I picked the worst 2. I missed HEAR. That was a gimme, with the spike from 1 to 130-ish. 20, 30% spikes, morning spikes. You got to take that. You got to enjoy that. MGT was nice, and now CCXI is the biggest winner. So we have so many plays right now. It's a little overwhelming. So I don't feel bad that I missed out on a few. You shouldn't feel bad if you missed out on a few. If you're just starting, it's okay. It's not a perfect thing. You don't have to be perfect. So all you have to do is stay in this game, keep learning, and trying to pick your spots. As you can see, I was being interviewed here, and I was not in my perfect element of concentration, as you'll see when you see this Business Insider interview. It's just incredible how many plays there are right now. So take advantage of it. And congrats to everybody on HEAR and CCXI. Now people are asking me, what do I do? SYNC, you have the problems in the high 3s. So it's bounced off the high 3s too many times. I'll always be selling into the high 3s until, we get some more news or bigger volume that'll drive it up more. But I'm just not sure if it'll ever break 390. It's had a big move. It probably needs to digest and consolidate. Crocs, I might dip by it again, but it's a little bit bigger of a company. And I don't like trading, nearly $1 billion companies. The stocks just aren't as volatile. PRGN failed. Remember, that one was trying to get above 2, and now it's dropping 13%. I still have Fuel. Fuel is the other earnings winner that I dip bought, and I'm down like 5-10 cents on that one. I might give it a little more time because it's such a small position, and some of these earnings winners, take many days. Like MITK, I was buying it in the 6s, the mid 6s, and now it's in the mid 8s. So it's spiked another $2 a share since my buy. And I totally just did not have the patience for it. What's EHTH doing? That was my other earnings winner buy. EHTH, 1332. Wow, I was buying that at 11. So EHTH is now up $2 a share. MITK is up $2 a share since my buys a few days ago. So some of these earnings winners, you want to go for the initial spike like we saw on HEAR, which worked well. CCXI, this one takes a little longer. This one really did not spike that much. It spiked and came down from the 4s all the way down to the 2s, and now it's a follow-up spiker. So it's not an exact science. You just have to keep track of the volatile plays with catalysts because they can spike on day 1, day 2, day 3. So awesome job, guys. I'll see you in the chat room. I got a, nap or something. I'm so out of it.